Okay, welcome back to PE. Today we're going to go over your plan of action assignment, and that's located in your target heart rate unit. Right now I'm on the course homepage, and within the course homepage you'll find your target heart rate unit, and within that unit you'll find your plan of action assignment. So if you're in the unit, it's on page 14. Here down at the bottom you can click on 14. What I'd like you to do is go through each of these tabs. It's going to talk about target heart rate, how to find your pulse, and why target heart rate is important. So we'll go over each of those briefly together right now. So if you're just planning on, if you've already gone through the unit and you're coming back, there's a quick link on the side in the left hand side under target heart rate, and you can just click on that quick link and that'll take you straight to this page too. So once I'm there, I'm going to open up the assignment, and it'll open up in a new page, and you can type right in on this page. It's nice and easy, and then from there you'll be able to save your work and then submit it into your Dropbox to me to be graded. Okay, so first of all, you need to know your target heart rate zone. So that's what this first question is asking us. What is your current target heart rate zone? And to find that, you need to know your resting heart rate. And to find your resting heart rate, it's best to do it in the morning, right when you wake up, and before you have any sort of stimulation. Okay, so before you wake up and walk around, take your dog out, and before, I don't know if you drink coffee or tea, before you've had anything like that, before you've eaten, before you've even gotten out of bed, without an alarm clock too, you're going to take your resting heart rate. And I understand for a lot of us that's not, I always forget, right? You wake up, you're like, oh man, I forgot to take my resting heart rate. That's okay. What you can do to find a pretty good estimation is just go into a quiet room, turn off the lights, relax for about 5 minutes, take a few deep breaths, and then you'll be able to take your pulse. And that'll give you a pretty good estimated resting heart rate. So to find our resting heart rate or our pulse, we're going to use one of two spots. You can take your pulse in several areas, but today we're just going to talk about your carotid arteries, located right here, and your radial arteries, which are located right here, thumb side. Okay. So let's talk about your radial artery first. You have two bones in your forearm. You have your ulna and your radius. And your radial artery is located thumb side. So this is how you know, right? This is how you remember. So if you give a thumbs up and you're like, yeah, that's so rad. This is rad. That's awesome, right? That's going to be your radial side. So your radius is right here. And your radial artery is located about a little bit more than halfway over on your thumb side. Okay, so if I clamp my ring finger and my thumb together and I flex, you'll see that those little tendons pop out, and you'll be able to go just to thumb side of that tendon. I know I'm not being very technical right now, and press two fingers right there. You'll be able to press two fingers and you should be able to feel a pulse. You don't want to press too hard because you could cut off the circulation and then you wouldn't feel a pulse, right, if no blood's going through. So that's your radial artery, and then you have your carotid artery. Now let me you don't touch on something. You don't want to use your thumbs because your thumbs have a pulse of their own, right? So your carotid artery, now you have your voice box here and your trachea. Okay, and just to either side of that, so if I just go follow that over to either side right here, and I press very, very gently, you do not want to press hard. Your carotid arteries feed your brain, and we don't want to cut off the circulation at all. So if you feel like you have to press hard, you're probably not pressing the right area. So you don't need to press very hard to find this pulse. So very lightly should work. It's a really strong pulse. So and if you're taking it on the right side, you want to use your right hand. Don't cross over, okay? So to stay on the same side, press very gently, and you'll be able to feel your pulse. Okay, so now that we've located our pulse, we're going to take it for 30 seconds and multiply it by 2. If you take it for 10 seconds, you can multiply it by 6 to find your heart rate in 1 minute. The longer you take your pulse, the more accurate it's going to be. Okay, so you could take it for a full minute if you'd like to. But let's just use, in your lesson or your unit, they use 60 as the resting heart rate for the example. So today we're going to use 60. So on a scratch piece of paper, right, we're going to write 60 beats per minute, BPM. Okay, now once you have that written down, let me pull this up real quick. In your unit, you'll find this, and these are the steps to find your target heart rate zone. So now that we have our resting heart rate, we're going to find our maximum heart rate, or our estimated maximum heart rate, okay? So you're going to take 220 and subtract your age. So for today's example, I'm going to use the age 13. So let's say you're 13, and you subtract 13 from 220, and that gives you 207. You have 207, and that's going to be your max heart rate, okay? So 207 is your max heart rate, and now you're going to find your heart rate reserve, a number called your heart rate reserve. So you're going to take your resting heart rate and subtract that from your maximum heart rate. So if my resting heart rate was 60 and my maximum heart rate was 207, I'm going to take 207 and subtract 60, okay? And that is, I believe, oh, let's look, 147, okay? So I'm going to write that down real quick. So 207 is our heart rate reserve. Heart rate reserve. It's kind of a funny number, but it's useful for us for finding this. So now you're going to take that number, your heart rate reserve, so in our case it was 147, and you're going to multiply that by 0.6. You're also going to multiply it by 0.8, okay? So we're going to get those two numbers, which I believe, let's see, 147 times 0.6, 88, okay? So our low end is 88, and then our high end is 117. So those are two numbers that we need. So heart rate reserve times 0.6 and times 0.8, and that's going to give us, in this case, 88 and 117. Now we're not done, because for each of those numbers I need to add 60. So I'm going to add back in my resting heart rate. Okay, so that's going to give me the two numbers of 148 and 177. All right, so that's our heart rate zone that we want to stay within in order to see the most benefit from our cardiovascular exercise. Okay, so that's why we want to know what our heart rate zone is. We want to know how hard we need to exercise in order to benefit from it, or benefit the most from it. Okay, so let me minimize that. Back to our assignment. I'm going to type in, we just found our zone, 148 to 177. I don't know why it's cutting that number off a little bit, but that's okay. Beats per minute. So that's our target heart rate zone. Now we can move down to the rest of the assignment. Types of activities. So these are activities that you plan on doing throughout the week in order to meet your activity goals. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to write a few things in here. I plan on playing basketball. I might rake leaves. What else do I do? I walk my dog. I may go swimming. What about a bike ride? And maybe I'll go hiking. Okay. So now I have my activities listed. And they don't have to be like exercising, just some activity. So like cleaning the house, raking, walking your dog. Those are activities, so you can write those in. Now I'm going to go through and check off each day that I plan on doing this. So for playing basketball, I plan on playing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Raking leaves, I might do that on Sunday. That'll be my plan. I walk my dog, whoopsies, every day, so I'm going to check off every day there. And maybe I'll go swimming on Tuesday and Thursday because I won't be playing basketball, right? And maybe I'll go on a bike ride on Saturday after I'm done walking my dog. And maybe I'll go on a hike on Sunday. So Sunday I'm going to be pretty active, right? Good. That's a good thing. So now we have that filled out, and we're going to fill out our little discussion box. So what types of obstacles are going to keep you from being active? What types of things will pop up and kind of get in your way? So I'm just going to write a few ideas, and they don't have to be the same as yours. I want this to be personal for you, but maybe these are some things that might get in my way. So maybe I won't have any motivation. Maybe I'll be too tired. Maybe I'll have too much work. Oopsies. Maybe no time. Maybe, let's see. I don't know. Maybe well, you get the idea. Those are pretty much the only things that get in my way. Or I don't know. Too much TV, right? There we go. That's another one. These are things that can get in my way of being active. So now I would discuss how I'm going to overcome those obstacles. So maybe I'll write a schedule. If you're someone that follows a schedule really well, maybe you can schedule it into your day so that you will follow your schedule and you'll have and make time for your activity or exercise. Okay? So that's how you complete your plan of action, or your plan of action assignment located in your target heart rate unit. All right, so hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, bye.